The moment I heard that generator roar to life out back, I'll tell you straight, I figured I'd just saved my family from the kind of winter storm Minnesota hadn't seen in decades. I never thought it'd be the spark that lit my whole neighborhood on fire, at least not the metaphorical kind. My name's Vincent Sinclair, and let me take you back to Riverside Meadows in Bloomington, Minnesota, right in the jaws of the polar vortex. February 2026. You ever get that gut feeling you're walking into something big, but you do it anyway? Yeah, that was me. 3 years settled in, just trying to make it through another Midwest winter. Now, I'm not one to ignore warnings. When the meteorologists start hollering about temperatures dropping to -40, wind chill dipping to -60, power lines icing up like spaghetti noodles left in the freezer, well, you pay attention. Folks on the news were saying it plain, if you're not ready, you might not make it through the week. That's not just TV drama, that's Minnesota for you. And with my wife and our two little ones, 7 and 9, bundled up in our living room, I looked at them and thought, over my dead body, are we freezing in our own house? So I did what any stubborn dad would. Hauled myself 2 towns over to Edna, wrote a check that made my hand shake $8,000 for a 22 kilowatt natural gas generator with a fancy auto switch. Not a dinky little thing you wheel out when the lights flicker. No sir, this one got bolted down on a concrete pad, hardwired gas line direct from the main, the whole works. The crew knocked it out in a day. By Wednesday, as those first snowflakes started hissing down, I had a plan. As long as the gas kept flowing, my house was staying warm. You know what they say, fortune favors the prepared or the paranoid. The storm hit Thursday. 20 degrees down in 2 hours, wind howling like it wanted to take the siding off, snow coming down so thick I couldn't see my neighbor's porch. And just like clockwork, power goes out. The lights flicker, die. My kids gasp. 15 seconds later, boom, generator kicks in, house lights up, furnace hums, TV comes back to life. Outside, frozen hell. Inside, just another cozy evening. But you ever get that feeling too that something's just too good to last Friday morning? I'm sipping coffee, half watching the news, when I see her stomping up the walk, Patricia Hallbrook, our HOA president. Purple parka scowl carved into her face, the kind of woman who looks like she'd ticket Santa for double parking his sleigh. Now Patricia, she's never had a real job outside her husband's dental office. But she's made it her life's mission to enforce every HOA rule down to the inch, garbage cans, grass height, even tried to ban my boy from riding his bike for leaving tire marks on the sidewalk. I open the door before she can even knock. Vincent, she snaps, we need to talk about that generator. Didn't even say good morning. I block the door with my shoulder, no way I'm letting that Arctic air inside. What about it, I ask. It's too loud, she says, arms crossed, acting like she's standing up to a bank robber. Been running nonstop. The noise is unacceptable. Now I stare at her and honestly I want to laugh. Patricia, it's a blizzard. Power's out. My generator's keeping my family alive. She's not having it, quotes me chapter and verse from the HOA rules about noise, tells me I've got 24 hours or it's a $500 a day fine. I could feel my jaw lock up. If I turn off the generator, the house will freeze, pipes will burst, we'll be in danger. She hands me a violation notice like she's serving a warrant. You can appeal in writing. 30 days. I'm pretty sure I rolled my eyes so hard they almost stuck. The storm will be long over in 30 days, I say, but she's already tromping off snow up to her knees, not a care in the world. My wife Sarah comes out, takes one look at the paper, and goes from confused to furious in about 2 seconds flat. She wants us to turn off the generator. In a blizzard. We both look out the window. Patricia's house is dark, just a trail of smoke from the chimney. She wants us to freeze with her, I guess. Sarah mutters. We don't even have a fireplace, I say. What are we supposed to do, burn the dining chairs? I crumple the notice, throw it toward the recycling, miss by a mile. I'm not turning it off. She can find me all she wants. No judge in the country is siding with her on this. That's what I thought anyway. I'd underestimated just how far Patricia would go. Friday rolls into Saturday, generator humming, snow still falling, us living in the lap of luxury while the rest of Bloomington hunkers down. Then Saturday morning I wake up. And it's silent. No hum. House is getting cold. Heart in my throat, I race outside, 40 below, skin burning, and see someone's unscrewed the gas line. Left it dangling like a dead snake. Someone came into my backyard in the middle of the night and sabotaged my generator. In that moment, I felt something I can barely describe. Fury, yes, but also fear. This was no longer just petty HOA garbage. This could have killed us. I fix the hose with numb fingers, reset the generator, and the house comes back to life. Sarah's wrapped in a blanket, eyes wide. Who would do that, she asks. We both know who, but I can't say it yet. I call the police, spend 20 minutes on hold, only to get told that unless someone's dying, there's nothing they can do right now. File it online. I do, but it feels like yelling into a snowbank. I install a camera chain, the generator salt, the ground for footprints, slap up a big sign about surveillance. Next morning, notification pings my phone. There she is, Patricia at the back fence reading the sign. She stands there 30 seconds, then leaves. Got you, I mutter, but I know she's not done. That afternoon, I get an email, emergency HOA board meeting tomorrow, mandatory attendance. Like I'm some school kid getting sent to detention. Monday morning, still minus 38, I trudge over to Patricia's place. Inside, it's colder than a meat locker. 5 board members all shivering in their coats. Patricia's voice is icier than the air lists off my crime, says I'm running a commercial generator without approval. They want me to turn it off, pay fines, remove it. I lay it out plain as day, I'm not shutting it off. Take me to court if you want, but I'm keeping my family safe. Susan Chen, quiet till now, suggests I just run it during daytime. And what let my house freeze at night, I shoot back. Use propane heaters, she says, and risk carbon monoxide. No thanks. I'm done reasoning. Drop this. When the storm's over, we'll talk. But for now, back off. They vote that night unanimous against me, fines doubled, threats of lawsuits. I forward it to my lawyer, Marcus. Not paying, I write back to the board. Do what you have to do. I felt lighter, honestly. I'd picked my hill to die on. But you know what's funny? Next day, neighbor Frank knocks on my door. Heard about Patricia. Most of us are on your side. I'm starting a petition to remove her. Got 15 signatures already. For the first time in days, I let out a real laugh. Keep running that generator. We got your back. Notes start turning up, neighbors thanking me for standing up. Power comes back Thursday. Generator finally gets a break. But my war isn't over. Certified letter arrives, $7,000 in fines, threats of lawsuits. Marcus tells me HOAs are tough, but emergency law might be on your side. I brace for a long fight. Then something shifts. Frank gets the petition done. Special election set. News spreads online. Local TV picks it up. Suddenly, Patricia's HOA reign is national news. Everyone's got a story about her. Every neighbor she's ever fined lines up behind me. The vote isn't even close. Frank becomes president. Old board swept out. First meeting, fines canceled, new rules passed, backup generators allowed within reason. Just like that, the fight shifts. I'd like to say that was the end. But in May, cops called. Turns out there were 6 cases of generator tampering during the blizzard, all linked to Patricia. Security footage, footprints, tool marks. She gets charged, goes to trial, and yeah, guilty on every count. 6 months in county jail, restitution. Her marriage falls apart. I wish I could say I felt triumph, but mostly I just felt relief. The new board does things right, fixes playgrounds, repaves streets, actually listens to homeowners. For the first time since we moved in, Riverside Meadows feels like a place I want to stay. One evening, Frank comes by as I'm testing the generator for winter. What you did changed this neighborhood, he says. People aren't afraid to speak up now. And he's right. Folks push back, rules get changed when they're out of date. That's how a community should work. Looking out at my yard, snow falling, soft generator sitting quiet but ready, I think about everything we went through. The lesson isn't that rules are bad or HOAs are evil. It's that when rules get valued over people, when authority forgets it's supposed to serve, not rule, then it's time to stand up. Even if you have to stand alone, at least for a while. You know, when you're the first to speak out, it's scary. But if you're right, others will join you. That's what happened here. I didn't win alone. The whole neighborhood won. Now, when my kids ask about the generator story, they know their dad stood up for what's right, not for revenge, not for spite, but because protecting your family matters more than following rules written by people who've forgotten what those rules are for. And maybe if you're facing something like this, someone wielding their little bit of power like a club, you'll remember this story. Maybe you'll find the courage to fight back too. Because rules matter, but people matter more. And when someone forgets that, well, sometimes karma comes wearing snow boots and carrying a wrench. So tell me, what would you have done in my place? Would you have stood your ground or kept your head down to avoid trouble? Ever had your own battle with an HOA or seen power go to someone's head? Share your story. Let's hear how you see it. Because at the end of the day, what kind of neighborhood do you want to live in? That's a question worth asking. Storm or no storm?